Welcome to Maryland's Deal Island Peninsula. The Deal Island Peninsula is located on Maryland's Lower Eastern Shore and has a population of just about 1,000 people. In this rural area, homes are rather spread out. It's a pretty calm place to live, except for one thing. There's a silent invader that has crept onto the peninsula over the years: the tides. As climate change has worsened, high tide flooding began to bring water into the Deal Island Peninsula communities. Many properties on the peninsula suffer from inundation damage, and some homes have even been abandoned because of their destruction, which would cost more to repair than the homes are worth.
These abandoned houses that are falling in the water, but you can see like broken glass and metal shards all along the shoreline now. When I moved here 7 years ago, the porch was still there. So you asked how long, so this is 7 years worth of damage.
So why is this perfectly normal process causing harm here in Deal Island? The Deal Island Peninsula and the larger Lower Eastern Shore of Maryland faces a problem common to most of Maryland's coastal communities. Due to climate change, the sea level has been on the rise, and because of human impact and natural geologic cycles, the land itself is also sinking or subsiding. Though this community has always been low-lying, this unfortunate combination has increased the rate of the water's intrusion into the Deal Island Peninsula's communities. And this doesn't appear to be ending anytime soon. Based on the projections mapped in MD Flood Explorer, the water will become an increasing challenge for the peninsula's residents as time passes.
I'll get texts, "Hey, is the water in my yard?" I'm like, "Yes, the water's in your yard, just to the same place I told you it would be when we had this kind of high tide coming in." "Oh, it's not in your house, don't worry, it's not going to come into your house, but you're there."
Flooding is only the tip of the iceberg. The Deal Island Peninsula is located in Somerset County, which is one of the poorest counties in Maryland. The peninsula is also very rural, so all official governance happens at the state and county level, rather than having town or city officials that focus specifically on this community. These disadvantages make it harder for the area to get the resources it needs to combat flooding, particularly for disenfranchised and low-income groups.
Even though we have only 1,400 students in our school system is the third poorest performing school system in the state of Maryland. So if my kids aren't going to do well in school and I'm going to have to be stuck with them, what happens? And oh, by the way, where's the medical? Since I don't have a hospital in Somerset County, I have to go up to Salisbury, and if transportation is an issue, I don't get the same kind of medical care. So I have more problems with things like diabetes and emphysema and all of those kinds of things, which make it more difficult for me to get around. And if it's difficult for me to get around, how am I getting around? Because I have to go to the grocery store and it's a 2-mile walk. So how do I do that? So it starts to become this downward spiral.
But the chronic flooding exacerbates the vulnerabilities of these individuals, as the flooding often blocks road access to daily essentials already located outside of Deal Island. With this in mind, what has been done and what can be done? The state of Maryland has already taken action to monitor sites like Deal Island statewide. Maryland utilizes MyCoast Maryland, a community science software where Marylanders can log instances of flooding with images, and the program pulls the geographic and weather data available from the image's metadata. This has compiled a database of knowledge that can be utilized by anyone to pinpoint flooding trends. From the Deal Island Peninsula reports, westerly winds were the most common occurrences that led to reporting floods, likely because these winds can accumulate speed as they go across the bay. This theory is consistent with the findings, as the instances of flooding reported with winds of 20 knots or above came from the west. As the database grows with more MyCoast submissions, the data can be used to understand the drivers of flooding in different communities, and inform project location and design. Though these trends are valuable, predictions aren't enough to keep communities above water. Through MyCoast, clusters of flooding reports have been identified, which can then be used to back up plans for infrastructural changes that can minimize flooding in those areas. Much of the change has started from within. Community members like Tom have also improvised solutions to help understand flooding patterns.
On my beach, I have a little statue that they had left in a boat in my yard, and so I took the boat and took it to the dump, and I took the statue and I buried it out in the sand. So it's 3 feet to the top of the statue, so I can tell where is the water level on that.
But the community can only support itself so much. In addition, a local partnership called the Deal Island Peninsula Partnership supports the community in its resiliency efforts.
DIP is a network of people from academia, the University of Maryland and Salisbury University, state agencies and local government agencies, as well as nonprofit organizations and community members. So it's a pretty wide network of people who all have different experiences and resources and skills available to them through their networks. And so the idea is that collectively we can advance resilience efforts on the Deal Island Peninsula. And so the foundation of DIP is more in that research and learning side. And now over the past 10 years, we've been working to evolve that network and those relationships to moving towards implementation of projects.
With the challenges stacked against the Deal Island Peninsula, it will be an uphill battle to fight the impacts of flooding, an aging population, and resource scarcity. But for many of the peninsula's residents, the fight is worthwhile to preserve its heritage as a coastal community in constant interaction with nature.
In the long run, I want people to be able to see Deal Island as heaven. Not worry about, oh my God, the road's going to flood. Yeah, the road is going to flood, but that's part of the character. And what can we do about it? How can we support each other when the road floods? Hurricanes are going to come through. Yeah, hurricanes are going to come through, but what can we do to support each other when that happens?